Hello everyone, it is Lori Bradley and I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and it is time for this week's fun fold. This one is a very simple fun fold that anybody could do, and it looks like a plain card from the front, and the middle section is the flap that opens. So it's a cute way to showcase two pieces of your designer series paper. I'm not sure that it has an actual name. As you know, I'm good at just making up names. So I'm going to call this the middle flap on the front card. All right, let's get going. I'm going to show you what we're doing. I am using Timid Tiger, which is one of our awesome new in colors. I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base. I have a Stylish Shapes die that I have cut just for our sentiment. I have a piece of Timid Tiger cardstock that's 3 1/4 by 8 1/2, and it's scored right in the middle. And then I have a piece of the cardstock, the floral piece, that is 3 inches by 4, and a white piece for the inside that's also 3 by 4. And then I have 2 strips that are 1 1/2-ish, 1 1/4, 1 1/2-ish. You could do another 3 by 4 piece and cut it right in the middle. And that's the back side of that. So you could easily cut that. And then we are going to, actually, a little tip. I use 3 by 4 a lot with my designer series paper, especially the 12 by 12. This is the floral, and no, it's the celebratory sips. It's not even the cocktail sides. It is the floral and the stripes. But you can cut your designer series paper at 3 by 4, and there's so many ways that you can use it that way and get so many pieces and cards out of your designer series paper. All right, so I have 2 strips, and I'm going to glue those onto my card base. The 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is the actual card base, so I'm going to glue those on there. You could, if you're uncomfortable gluing your strips, you could easily just get a 4 by 5 1/4 white piece and glue those on there if that makes you feel better, or makes it easier for you to get it straight and glue it. I of course have to pick it up so I can see it and just glue it down so that there's a small border around the outside, just like that. And we'll turn it and do it the other side the same way, just like that. There we are. Now, this piece is going to get glued right in the middle, so it's going to cover all of this space that we have in the middle. We want that to be glued down super strong, so I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal for that. You want to use a strong adhesive because this is the piece that's going to get opened. We don't want it to fall off the front of your card. That would be embarrassing. And we're going to just center it as best we can. You can measure if you want. If you look at your thing on your grid paper to see how far it is, it'd be about 1 1/4 inches, 1 1/8 probably from each side. I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, we have that. We're going to put our designer series paper on the front. We could have done this with the stripes on the front and the floral on the side, but I went with the floral again in the middle. Put that right on the front. If you cut your designer series paper from a 12 by 12 piece of designer series paper, if you cut it from a 12 by 12, you actually get 12 pieces. So you can make 12 cards with one piece of this. And then we'll put our white on the inside. That's for writing your note or whatever you want to say. Since our card says just a note, we want to make sure we write our note. Put that right in the middle. And there's our front flap. And then all we have left to do is just decorate it a little bit. I'm going to use the Notes and Totes stamp set, which is part of the Notes and Totes bundle. And I'm just going to stamp just a note. I love just a note. I think that's a fun, easy sentiment that can be used for so many things. You could write a note because you're thinking of somebody. You could just a note. You could, as a thank you. So many things that you could use that for. And I'm going to use the Timid Tiger new ribbon, the faux linen ribbon, which is super awesome. I'm not going to tie a bow today. I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers and make a little bit of a faux bow. I cut that off. Got that little piece right there. And then tape this to the back of my piece. I find that taping Scotch tape is an easy way to stick things on the back of sentiment pieces. It's not super fancy, but it's something that everybody has in their cabinet. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back because that's a little bit thick, so we want to make sure that our piece sticks on the front. And then we'll stick that on the front. We'll add a few of the 20, 25, 27 flat in color pearls. And it'll be done. I'm going to use the Timid Tiger pearls. Let's see. Let's go on this side. Actually, let's put a couple up here. Put a big one and a small one, and then we'll put the medium size pearl. Those are 3 sizes down on the bottom. Right about there. All right, there you have it. I can't even remember what I called it. The middle flap in the front of your card fun fold. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next week for our next fun fold. Have a great rest of your day.